on these detectives. They spend countless hours. They build rapport with the families, and when they struggle to bring closure, it weighs on them. But you know, we can't do alone, as I stated before, so we ask the citizens of Atlanta, if you know anything about the two cases we're going to highlight, we ask you that you reach out to the homicide unit, but you also reach out to Crime Stoppers where you can remain anonymous. We feel that people were around these two incidents. We believe that people know, have key information, and so we're asking people to do the right thing and to come forward and provide us additional information so we can bring closure to these investigations. So I'm going to bring up our homicide commander, Lieutenant Jermaine Dearlove. He'll specifically talk about the two cases, and then we'll have some questions at the end. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Dearlove, Commander for the Homicide Unit. We're here today to discuss two case updates for active homicide investigations and also request public assistance with identifying suspects involved in these incidents. The first case I would like to speak about occurred on August 31st, 2022 at 329 14th Street. The victim in this case is Mr. Prince Oluzor, 38 years old, black male. Mr. Oluzor was inside the BP gas station and was alerted by other customers inside the convenience store that his vehicle was being stolen. When Mr. Oluzor stepped outside to check on his vehicle, the suspects inside of a silver sedan fired a handgun and struck him in the body. Mr. Oluzor was pronounced deceased on scene. An investigation was taken up by our lead investigator, Leon Packer, where we obtained surveillance footage of that suspect vehicle. That silver sedan was later identified as possibly a 2013 Honda Accord. We provided a still shot of that vehicle along with a short video clip to assist with identifying for the viewers and community. The suspect vehicle, if you notice, has a noticeable dent on the driver's side of that vehicle, and we're requesting the public's assistance with identifying suspects involved. Maybe they saw that vehicle at the time of that night, or maybe perhaps before, during, or after the incident. We're going to need our assistance from our community. As we've done time and time again, the community support makes us a much stronger city and department in solving these crimes and identifying suspects involved in these cases. The second case I would like to move on to occurred on July 28th, 2021 at Piedmont Park. Our victim is Miss Katie Janness, a 40-year-old white female. The suspect at this time is unknown. Ms. Janness was stabbed several times while walking in the park. Investigator Churchill is our lead investigator. He was our lead investigator from day one and has worked diligently and thoroughly. Throughout the years, he's conducted numerous interviews for this case and also employed other investigative methods. We're working with our local and federal partners as well. Once again, the tips that were received are vetted and checked thoroughly. So we're asking the community, you may not even been in the park that night, but if you've heard or saw anything that seems suspicious, just off, please notify us. We will check and confirm every tip. Nothing is too small. A lot of times we'll hear something and try to disregard it, but it's our gut feeling that we have to go off of when we're providing tips for us. Let us investigate these tips, and we'll determine whether it's verified or something that's not substantiated from the case. So if you see something, say something, but also share it as well with us. And once again, we're requesting with the community support, and you can notify Crime Stoppers at 404-577-TIPS. And once again, our lead investigator is Investigator Churchill. Thank you.
We'll entertain questions. Can you talk a little bit about the kind of suspect you are searching for in the Piedmont stabbing case? What is their profile, do you think?
We have conducted several interviews for this case. What we're trying to figure out, it seems senseless to me. It was a senseless incident. We've cast a wide net from looking into our victim's background and also looking into other profiles of persons that may or may not be capable of committing these crimes. But what's more important is we have a wide net. We're not just alluding to one specific person. We don't want a narrow view for this case. We want to open up other avenues. If you have a narrow view of one specific person for this investigation, you may miss out on others. So as we continue with the investigation, which will be thorough, we're going to just keep a wide net until we could zero in and develop additional evidence as well.
After 2 years, do you think that the suspect knew the victim? I mean, it seemed random at the time, and we haven't really had anything like that since. At this point, do y'all think there was a connection between the suspect and victim, or do you think it was random?
Well, for me, you said 2 years passed. We're still solving cases that occurred 3, 4, 5 years ago. So what matters is the effort and determination that's being put into this case for our community. It's the expectation for our community to lead a thorough and diligent investigation. That's what Investigator Churchill is doing right now, not letting anything go and continuing to follow up on every possible lead for this case.
But to that point, do you believe the killer knew, Katie?
I can't say at this point. I can't say at this point.
You talked about pouring through interviews, evidence. How many hours have investigators put into Katie Janness' case?
Oh, Investigator Churchill?
We've worked on this case since day one. Every week, we're working on this case. So since 2 years ago to now, every week there's something going on with this case. So no days is when unanswered. So we're working on it.
And as the lead investigator, have you been in contact with the family? How are they feeling right now?
Yes.
I imagine they want closure.
Yes, the mom is from Detroit. I've flown to Detroit and met with the mom, spent some time with her. And I speak with her weekly also.
Has there been another murder across the country that might match this one? Are you guys looking at other murders from across the country to see if it's going to match?
We look at anything coming that's similar, we look at. Our FBI partners, they're also looking into it also. They get the information faster than we do, so they start looking into it, and they pass along the information to me, and I do my investigation.
Last year when we were here, you all talked about how you were looking at cell phone and biological data. Can you talk about what you found, if anything, through those avenues?
I don't want to get into the scientific part of this case right now. It's not the time. We don't want to put that out there. As far as the technology part of it, we're working on that also. Every week there's every year there's new technology that comes out, and once it does come out, our FBI partners and I, we work on it and run it through the new technology.
Can you talk a little bit about the frustration level behind this? We're at 2 years. This is a woman who was stabbed 50 times, just a heinous crime that really put a lot of people in fear in that community and beyond. Talk a little bit about the frustration and not being able to solve this right now. I know you hope to solve it soon, and this is why you're doing this press conference, but can you talk a little bit about, you know, what goes into working a case like this, the hours, the looking through surveillance, the talking with witnesses or people in the park, and still nothing?
It becomes frustrating, but we're working. I take pride in the work that I do and my investigators that help me out with this case. So we're working it. It is frustrating, but we're working it. We want to get it right.
Last year, APD was firm that Katie's case is not a cold case. Do you still take that stance?
Right. We don't consider it a cold case. We're still working on leads are coming in. Information is coming in through Crime Stoppers, so we don't consider it cold in our standards.
What about a hate crime? Have you decided if it's a hate crime or any information on that?
We don't have any information on for a hate crime right now, but I want to go back to what Investigator Churchill stated. He is the lead investigator from day one. This is an active case. We're not letting it go. Investigator Churchill has put hours and hours of time while working here for the police department. He is dedicated. He's motivated. Yes, there are times when there's frustration, but once we get frustrated, we don't quit and walk away. We pick back up where we left off, and we continue with the work because our work is important for the department and most importantly for the family and the community as well.
Investigator Churchill, how many other cases are you juggling at one time? Like, how many are you working on in addition to this one?
Well, since that case, we have, he's our senior investigator, and we do have other cases. We didn't stop with this one case, so we continue on. I believe there are 4 cases Investigator Churchill has been a part of, which are resolved.